boys. Here we go. Jess, kick her off, bud.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 of the Maritime Hockey Podcast. Jesse here, joined with Eric and Chris, and pleased to be joined by a very special guest today, Ben Young. Thanks for joining us, Ben.
Oh, not a problem, gentlemen. I seen all the posts from Billy on Snapchat and Instagram and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll fucking fire Billy an old text message and see what's going on, right?
Yes, sir. Ben was my high school hockey coach, for those of you guys wondering. Head coach for grade 11, grade 12 when I played for Summit Fool. Best coach I ever had. Not even saying that, not trying to pump your tires too much, but only coach I've ever had that was back to back. I've never had a coach more than 1 year other than Ben. So great guy, knows his stuff. Big Oilers fan.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're
got
gonna be
the
too much of an
Oilers hat
fan,
on
man.
there, I see.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the only right now is the only hat that's comfortable. So
yes, sir.
Yeah.
The logo's not too comfy right now, boys.
It was not great. So what do you? Yeah, we'll jump right into that because I mean, like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, you and me, Ben, were talking yesterday, or day before yesterday, whatever, talking about, kind of this was even before the game, before game 2. What kind of stress are they under if they lose this series or if they go down 2-0, which they are? So what are you thinking? Like, where's your head at, do you think, after that?
Well, even before we started recording, Chris, you said even with your pens, you guys' pens, game 5 is critical. Game 3 is, make or break it for the oil drops, I think. Game 2, actually, besides that, the entire series right now is boring as fuck. It's nothing like a Tampa Florida series. It's nothing like a Pens and Islanders is a gritty. The Vegas series is gritty and hard hits, and you got Reeves in there, you got Revo and all those boys. It's boring. As an Oiler fan, I was at game 6 when Oilers forced game 7 against Carolina in 2006. I was at that game, and they don't have they have Zach Kassian, but with no other like George LaRock or Fernando Pisani or somebody like that. We're going back in the archives here, but they just are lacking. And TSN and all these sports nets, whatever, they're all beating it to death, but we are lacking depth. And I personally think that the Jets literally have sat there and watched game film from how Montreal shut down McDavid and Draisaitl. They're not giving him any time and space. McDavid's getting rattled. They need to stop doing everything off of the rush. If you look at the Jets, they do everything old school. They are getting pucks down deep. They're getting pucks in the corner. They're grinding it out in what I call ground zero, which is behind the net. They're grinding it out in those areas. And, game 1 was 4-1. I think they pulled Smitty a little bit too early. I don't, as Billy well knows, I don't like pulling goaltenders.
He hates that.
Hate it.
Never did it ever.
I hate it. And parents would get so pissed off at us. Like, why didn't you pull the goalie? And I'm like,
look at the teams that we had. Did you anyone have faith that it's like, they're gonna score 6 on 5? Bro, no. Chris, I don't know if you guys did that in high school either, if your coach pulled the goalie much, but holy crap,
3
man.
times.
Like, everyone gets so angry. It's like chucking like different coaching strategies. It's like, bro, look at the team that's in front of me. Like, do you really think that you have faith in them trying to, strategize 6 on 5 play? Fuck out of here. Anyway.
Yeah. Game 3 is definitely pivotal. We got to open the floodgates and we got to score. You're not going to win if you don't score goals. It's that simple, right? You're not going to win a hockey game if you don't get into those grimy areas and get into that blue paint and get, a Ryan Smith goal, like just absolute garbage. Because at the end of the day, garbage goals win championships. So
yeah. And that's going to be big for Winnipeg too, because now they're going back to Winnipeg, so they're on home ice now.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%.
I don't know if it's going to be as big of of an advantage. I mean, I guess you could say, like, you could take the no fans as whether it's an advantage or a disadvantage. But I mean, I guess for Edmonton, they're going into Winnipeg. Yes, they're not on home ice. I understand that, but it's like they don't have the energy that the Jets would typically have in a playoff game. Like they don't have to face that, because I mean the Jets, like Ben, you were saying yesterday, is that them, Oilers, and Montreal have probably the loudest rinks in the league come playoff time, and it's like, I mean, you don't have that, so you don't get those momentum swings. And I think that, I mean, again, like Connor McDavid, you're not gonna be able to shut him down 4 out of 7 games. I just don't see it. I don't see how you can do that. It doesn't matter if Hellebuyck's playing well. I know that probably the first episode, going back to the first episode, I was absolutely, seemed like I was shitting on Hellebuyck for being not the best third goalie in the playoffs. I remember, yeah, Chris, you remember that? And then we got a comment, shout out to the guy who commented, was like, oh, actually Hellebuyck is like statistically like the second best goal in the league. I'm like, all right, I just shut my ass up in the series, but I don't think that, I don't know. I think Oilers are going to come back, but Chris, what do you think? What do you think about that series?
You know what? I haven't even watched a lot of it. All I know is Marc-Andre Fleury has more points than McDavid, is what I heard today.
That's a good point.
I heard that on the opening of the Pens game.
You say that?
What?
Yeah, no, go for it. Keep going.
That they were recapping, and they're like, and we got Vegas and the Wild playing tonight with Marc-Andre Fleury, who has more points than Connor McDavid come the playoffs.
They're just trying to.
That's rough.
That's fucked. But
no, but I mean, I was watching the highlights from the game, and like you said, Ben, everyone was just getting under McDavid's skin, right? He was getting frustrated, tripped up a couple of times over sticks and everything. You can just see he was getting pretty pissed off. But I mean, that's how you shut down good players. You got to piss them off, right? I don't play good when people piss me off, right?
Yeah, you don't play good regardless.
You can go. Yeah, thank you. I don't play hockey at all.
Yeah.
Ever.
You're just a bender.
Just a bender.
Yeah.
Ankles taped for days.
Oh, well, shut the fuck up. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. But,
Jesse, what do you think, bub?
Yeah, I think the Jets are playing pretty good. I think they're doing a good job at shutting down McDavid and Draisaitl. And I mean, that's what you got to do if you want to win this series too. You got to get them off the score sheets. So, like Ben said, they're playing like old school hockey, getting pucks in deep, and and Hellebuyck's been great for them, like he's been all season. So, yeah, I think going into Game 3, it's crucial for the Oilers. So yeah,
going from kind of like one series on one end of the spectrum totally to the other. Panthers Lightning had Game 4 today, I think it was.
Yeah.
What a disappointment. The Florida Panthers, let me tell you, the series not over yet. It's 3-1 Tampa. They're living proof of just, you can't believe in good things, because man, Florida has statistically their best season in the history, or since '96 when they went on that cup run. And they played well against Tampa. And I'm frustrated because it's like, I'm tired of the good teams being the good teams. Like, bring Florida in. I can't wait until Buffalo gets good. Panthers are fucking good, and then you get shot because they're playing well. They had over 40 shots, I think, and Bobrovsky can't make a save. Anyway, fun to watch, but frustrating. I'm sure as a Panther fan, which they have 7, I guess. But oh my god, like anyway.
Yeah, I saw Kucherov and Sergachev got injured today too.
Oh yeah,
that hurt. That's a very loud building too today.
That is a loud building.
Every goal was just blown to shit, man. Like Kucherov's one, I think that's the loudest I've ever seen Tampa Bay's arena, at least for me, right? I had my volume up to like 47, so that might be a factor, but it was pretty cool.
It's nice.
At the end of the day, too, it almost seems like down in the States there's no more pandemic, right? So
that's it too.
It does really suck, to go back to the Canadian teams for just 2 seconds. It just sucks that we can't get that crowd in there a little bit. And I know that Montreal put out that little thing on Instagram and Facebook and all that. They're going to allow like 2,600 fans or something like that, maybe May 29th. But, that doesn't do that building justice. And then all of a sudden you look at even when they were in the Panthers arena, and then they go to Tampa, my buddy Womby, who coaches Pee Wee AAA for Bedford, he went to a couple games down in Tampa before the pandemic, and he said that rink is just like, no pun intended, electrifying. It's insane. The
Ridiculous,
Jumbotron is massive, and they got got the lightning beams going everywhere. But you got to look at with the Panthers. I personally think it's a goaltending thing. You have the offense, you have solid defensive core. It's a goaltending thing right now. Bob cannot stop a beach ball.
Nope.
And Chris Drager, I don't think is your answer. I think you got to dress Spencer Knight just to give him a go. Like, get in there, bud. Like, just see what you can do, and let the veterans of the team, like the Hubertos and the Barkoffs and the Uyghurs. You guys talked about Uyghur there your last episode, and you just got to let the boys play. But you got Vasilevsky in nets too for Tampa, and he's a wall, man. That guy just makes saves that are just unorthodox. I don't understand. I've never been a goaltender, never can be. I tried to do it in road hockey and it doesn't go well.
Oh, no way. Did your audio didn't just cut out, did it, Ben? Are you fucking kidding me? No way. That's a prank. It's back now?
You
good now?
Shit.
Oh,
there we go.
All right, good, yeah.
There we go.
All good.
Fucking earpods, man.
That's why you gotta get these, man. Chris, I don't know how you haven't gotten. Use your fucking headphones, buddy.
It's got like the mic thing. It's just a bit weird.
Your gamer headphones.
You can tell like I play PlayStation with it. It's a bit weird.
And Jesse uses his. He's fine.
Yeah, but his are better than mine.
That's
his
a good point.
Cooler.
Yeah.
Something that I've seen from Florida today that I was very surprised, and they did a recap of it at come the end of the game. 4 out of those 5 goals, the guy was all alone. There was not a stick, not a defense within a stick's length of them. They did.
100%.
They did that one
Chris.
where who beat him down? I think it was Killorn's second goal, and he was just he had like 25 feet anywhere around him. He was alone. Right, and all he had to do was just pot it in the open space, right? I didn't like that.
Talk about a silent killer, though, Killorn.
Honestly.
Killorn, yeah, very underrated.
Yeah,
He's from here too.
Yeah,
is he?
Yeah,
He's from here.
No way.
I didn't realize till today.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've never seen him train in like the summer. He must not train here because I mean,
I don't think
clearly surely he'd be out with Crosby, McKinnon, those guys coming in training here. I've never ever seen Alex Killorn here, but I do know that like his aunt or something like that like worked with my mom. So like I had an idea that like maybe he was kind of from here, but I didn't know he was actually born here.
Yeah. I remember looking that up like a long time ago just to see where he was from, and it said Halifax.
Very underrated player. Speaking of, the name of our podcast, Maritime Hockey Podcast. If anyone watched the Avs game yesterday, one Maritimer, McKinnon, doesn't get a single point, which, I mean, that's fine. He's probably still leading the playoffs in points right now. But fellow Maritimer, Atlantic provincer, Alex Newhook getting his first
Alex Newhook too,
career goal with
good old Newfie.
Colorado.
Good old Newfoundlander.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Freaking Newfie.
What a fun fact, actually. I played one game against Alex Newhook back in Pee Wee.
Really?
You're just stroking yourself off now.
Let me just say, listen, like my draft year is back, but like a couple teams are, calling me like Gary Bettman. I got him on speed dial, but basically like, but
not a big deal.
Not a big deal, boys. Not a big deal. But no, seriously, one game it was in Sedma. But this isn't even pumping my tires because I would have left this part out. We got destroyed like 12-1 against a team.
That's Sedma for you, though.
That's that's Sedma in a nutshell. You get like, oh man, you're the best team in Nova Scotia. Here, play this bum team from Newfoundland or from like Ontario, cream ya. It's like, okay, great. Anyway, he was part of an all-star team from Newfoundland that came down and played us. We got destroyed like 12-1, but he scored on me. But he also didn't score on me on one time. He got 2 shots on net, I remember, and I made the save on one of them. So
not a big deal, but
one of my better accomplishments.
But you saved Alex Newhook's shot. Not a
I
big deal.
did save his shot, and then
It was just a rocket to the chest, and you still
probably,
saved it.
yeah, probably. I honestly probably had the gnaw on my stick. I was probably down and out. Honestly, probably deked the fuck out of me. But yeah, no. Alex Newhook then probably took that as motivation, and then tore up the BCHL
And just
a
went
few
to the
years
chill.
later. It's
Boston
I
College.
think that's an underappreciated thing. I think in junior hockey, the BCHL. I mean, that's a junior A
Produces so many
tier.
players.
Yeah, because you look at the
Yeah.
BCHL and it's like he was drafted 16th overall to Colorado, I think, Jess. I think it was in 2 years ago
I
or a
think
year
so.
ago.
Yeah.
19, yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's played in the BCHL. He never played major,
Nope.
but he was drafted, 16th overall in like the first half of the draft. Like that's ridiculous. And there's so many guys from the BCHL alone, and even like Manitoba and Alberta that are getting drafted, and they're good. And you look at the history, it's like what teams they played for. Never played in the CHL, played in the BCHL or the AJHL in Alberta, and they're tearing shit up in the league. So he played for Victoria Grizzlies, I think it was.
Victoria Grizzlies,
Victoria
yeah.
Grizzlies, yeah. So
Not a big deal. I got invited to
Yeah.
their training camp this year.
shut up. You're not.
No.
It's not.
I told you about it, Billy.
Yeah. Fuck right up.
Not a big deal. It was a pre-camp thing. Couldn't go because
You
COVID.
should have just gone, man.
I should have. I should have.
Just gone. He should have been there. You should have been there to pick up the puck bunnies and take names.
Yeah,
I should have. But it's
Jesse would have picked up names. Let's go.
I don't think the girlfriend would have liked that much, and she's probably gonna watch this. So I wouldn't do that to her. But
Mine's in the other room, and she knows I'm an idiot because I'm a hockey player.
Yeah. But oh my god. But yeah.
Hey,
dude,
go on.
I totally forgot that you had that, bro. You brought that out. I was like, what? And I'm like, oh yeah.
And then I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it got canceled actually. I don't know. I received an email there a couple weeks ago that something wasn't happening, but I don't know. I want to try to stay home as long as I can, right? But you got to take an opportunity like that. But Dad was like, you know what? It's gonna be a shit show trying to get down there, and I gotta tear up junior B before I can jump to like junior A.
Dude,
that's not even junior A. That's the CHL up there almost. Players up there in BCHL. That's CHL level.
Well, yeah.
You gotta get those Q scouts to notice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I'll stick to the Maritime hockey for right now.
First of all, get your junior B coaches to get off their ass and play a little bit more. God damn.
See what happens. A bit disappointed. Healthy scratched 3 out of my last 4 games of the season.
Don't tell that to the Victoria Grizzlies.
I was a bit mad about that, but it's whatever. Things happen.
Yeah.
But I'm taking a lot this offseason. I'm feeling good, Billy. What about you?
Feeling not bad.
Not much we can do.
Oh no, I mean you're in lockdown. I was literally like the best I felt was last night when I was doing like Russian twists in my room. I'm like, yeah, I'm elite right now, elite athlete.
Yeah, and you feel so good until you get out on the warm up and see the team. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, you're like, oh shit. Something I did want to get into. Obviously, Ben, you're on here, and we were talking about just loud crowds and stuff. And some question popped in my head. You've coached for 12 years now, 11 years.
11 years, yeah.
11 years. In your 11-year career, what has been the absolute, like all around the craziest experience or story that you've ever had behind the bench?
Coaching or playing?
Well, I know that I say coaching specific. Well, there was one story that you told about a tournament that you had you always told that story, tournament that you had like one goalie.
Oh yes, yeah. When I that was when I was playing. So we'll do the playing one first. So, played. And again, don't shoot me here. Played Bedford Blues, coming from Alberta. Lived in Alberta for 13 years and stuff like that. Had Sean McKenzie as a coach. Midget AAA. We had a tournament in Port Hawkesbury, and it was right around March break. So a bunch of the boys, went down Barbados, Mexico, stuff like that. Shout out to Wambi, who decided to go to Mexico. Anyway, so we go to Port Hawkesbury, middle of March, in March break, with 12 players and a goalie. And they called us the Dirty Dozen. And we go into Port Hawkesbury, and we're playing Port Hawkesbury in the final. right? So we go through the whole thing. We're all bump and bruised, right? And then Shawnee McKenzie comes up to me and he goes, he's the head of development for Bedford, if anybody doesn't know. Comes up to me, he goes, Younger, I'm putting you and Mark McKenzie and Sonny Adamski on if we go into overtime. And I'm like, okay, so shitting your pants a little bit, right? Just like, oh, okay, all right. Thanks for the heads up, coach. But I would almost rather like tap on the ass on the bench, just like go. Then you get in your head, right? So anyway, we go out and we're in the final, and it went to overtime, and I had this like Nike Bauer at the time, because it was Nike Bauer Vapors, right? So I had this silver stick, and it was a Malkin curve. And anyway, my mom couldn't afford to come out to the tournament, so I was up there with Maddie King's parents. And anyway, so puck goes down the corner, comes up the wall, D pass. I'm a center, so I'd come from below the net, and I came up and get a pass from the point. I do this weird like clapper thing. It wasn't even a clapper. It was just like this half-assed little thing. I don't even know.
Shot.
Yeah, it was just it was a muffin. It was absolute muffin. And broke the stick. The puck goes in, and I'm more concerned about my stick. I'm holding both pieces like this, and I'm like, my mom's gonna kill me.
Nice.
It's like a $250 stick back in the day, right? Anyway, so we won the tournament. That was insane, man. Like Port Hawkesbury had like the stands were full. Like It was full. Like they were all jacked up. And then this little midget AAA team from Bedford comes into Port Hawkesbury over March break. They're all, having some drinks in the stands, having a good time, right? And then obviously after that, you get a couple puck bunnies coming around the dressing room. The coach Shawnee didn't like that too much.
No.
Bring home the banner, and he didn't like that too much.
Oh, man.
Coach is in the queue, right? Like goes to like the Memorial Cup final, and then he didn't like that too much.
No, but I mean that's part of it, man. That's part of the. Oh, you didn't like that too much either. I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, it's hockey. Like you gotta do your job, especially with us. We had no room to be cocky and bring girls in. I'm pretty sure that.
You knew, and if any of the old boys were on here, like Marty Cormier and Lorad and all those boys, they would know that when it comes to game time, there's no girls around. In the first game of the season, I understood giving jerseys to the girls and stuff like that. But when it comes to game time, it's you got to have tunnel vision on, right? And But when it comes to the actual coaching aspect, to be honest, I would have to say that home opener for Samet Carrefour, like
the first one ever.
Yeah, the first one ever, our first home opener. That was pretty crazy. I was at Coop Mustache, which is insane in general. Great charity, all that good stuff. But didn't really mean much. I know it meant a lot more to the boys playing. I was just the timey. Played some great tunes though.
Yes, you did. That's true.
But that first game is something that'll go down in history with me. Just being the first head coach, and then having that first game, playing CPA, and not getting too shit pumped. You know what I mean? And having that crowd there, and Billy, you got the start, and Chris, I'm sure you've been in those type of situations. It's like holy crap, the crowd is bumping right now. You get the jitters. Like I'm a coach too, and like I was going up to my assistants, and I was just like, man, this is sick. Like imagine if we could get to a provincial final or something like that and have it at the BMO Center and just like get it fired up. Like but also that the final there, Billy, too, just not to take up too much time for everybody else, but when we won the Gators tournament down the valley.
Gator Cup.
So just to give you two guys, Jesse and Chris, an update, this guy stopped 89 shots, and we won in overtime 3-2.
That was the final? I knew you guys won. I didn't think they had 82 shots.
No.
They had 82 shots or something like that. It was insane.
And literally, not in the final game, maybe the last two games combined, let's say.
I have a picture of when we won the banner. The score and the shots are right there. We had 15 shots the entire game.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
And we
was
won 3-2.
32 in overtime. Shout out to Cash Layden. Cash. I
Shout
don't know.
out to Cash Lane.
Cash Layden. Literally haven't seen you in like 2.5 years, bro. But if you've somehow come across this video, I will love you forever. And Luke Bennett. Remember Luke?
Oh, Lukey, absolute beauty.
Luke just underratedly like would go end to end and get a score into end. You're like, bro, Luke, we all know that you do not skate fast, but you would go end to end and get a rush. Oh my gosh. But I think, and again, we talked about this, probably the most hype goal we've ever scored was Jeremy Hache against CPA. That game time
Forced
goal on
overtime.
breakaway, forced overtime, forced a shootout. We ended up losing, but I think that was the game that kind of put us on the map per se, and made us like, okay, like gave us confidence, like, boys, like we're not going to show up to the rink and think that we're going to get pumped all the time. Because CPA, I think at the time they just won provincials, and then they won provincials that year and the year after. But everyone's expecting CPA to completely annihilate us. Anyway, it's 2-2 in a shootout. Comes down to skills competition, see who wins this game. So that was a big goal. But anyway, yeah, a couple of some stories there for you boys. But Chris, like how you played high school 2 years, and Jesse, I apologize, I know you haven't played high school hockey, but
Yeah.
Chris, like, do you think that there is a more ruckus crowd than the JL crowd? Because I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Sorry to cut you off, Chris. That your crowd is
Ridiculous.
they're jumping.
Yeah.
They are jumping. They're fired up, and they bleed purple.
Bro,
They bleed purple.
good old
No.
Fry Field.
Like
shit.
no, like you guys said, I love playing there, right? When we had a game at the Spratfield rink, everyone knew we had a game, right? The
Yeah.
announcement was going on. A couple times it's usually a home opener, but there was a couple times where we wore suits if we knew it was a game, going to be a good game, like against CPA when they were there. We would usually wear a suit. I would. I can't speak for all of us.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys.
Yeah.
that
Kid
didn't.
wears dress shirts on podcast. My gosh.
I wear
Of course
dress
you're gonna
shirts
wear a
any day.
suit.
I wear dress shirts any day. It's a fashion statement. But no, I think we got pretty good crowds. Like you said, Ben, with the jerseys and everything. That was a home opener thing. That's a must for any team. I think. But any game, the girls were wearing the jerseys up in the stands.
Yeah.
People
and moms too, right? Good shout out to Mama Bears.
Yes, sir.
and
Shout out
Mama
to
Bears
Mama
too.
Bears.
And the mothers, yeah. But no, in scoring in that type of atmosphere, I had my first year I didn't score. I scored one at home, and then almost all of my goals last season or the season before, excuse me, were at the Spratfield rink. So like just scoring and like knowing everyone's cheering for you. I think the most insane goal that I scored there in getting the crowd going. I think we were getting shit pumped by Auburn 8-0.
Oh, nice. I know the feeling.
And there was the sick ass defenseman. I don't know his name, but he was really good.
Oh, there's the time. Man.
10 minutes now, boys. But
I'm gonna speed it up.
Oh no, keep going.
Me and him were in a foot race. I chipped it around him, went on a breakaway, forehand, backhand, the Bilodeau special, and roofed it. And no celebration, obviously, because we're down 8-0. But I don't think I've ever heard the building for something that I've done as loud as that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, and like you said, Chris, too, about the crowd, how they're just jumping and all that. I've been to a couple of JL games there too and watched a couple. Chris, I came to watch you play a bit.
Yeah.
And they're just electrifying.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're pretty
like Ben said. Yeah.
I know, Jesse, you're gonna get once things open back up and we start playing ball hockey again, we're gonna have a few people out at our ball hockey games, and you're gonna get the crowd buzzing with your short side snipes. My gosh.
Yeah.
My fuck.
A clapper bar China.
Yeah. Bar China. I like that. Nice.
Yeah.
But fuck, man. Like, yeah, getting like even playing against crowds. Like, man, remember? I mean, I hate to bring this up, Ben, but like the Eastern Shore crowd. When we played when we lost that like banner game.
Oh yes,
the league,
yeah,
the
I
league
do.
game.
Yep. Mhm.
I mean, that was
It's a slow burn, boys.
Yeah.
It's a slow burn.
It was not fun. Obviously, we lost that game. We did, if any Eastern Shore people are here, I'm sorry, but we did make it further than you in the provincials. We didn't win, but we made it further. All right, you guys got beat by Sackville, whatever. But man, like every single time we played in Eastern Shore, crazy. First time we ever played in Eastern Shore, Noah Larad breaks his leg.
Oh,
that was
really?
a scary.
Oh,
dude. Yeah, no, and
That was a scary moment. That was like the John Tavares needed the head.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Corey Perry did not do anything wrong there.
Absolutely
That was not. But like to compare it, Billy, that's the gut wrenching feeling that I felt that Sheldon Keefe felt for Johnny T. Like,
yeah,
that
and like you said, there's nothing Perry could have did. He tried to get out of the way. It just happened too quick.
Yeah. That was a very scary moment with Larad,
but
then just to add to that with and then the next season, Billy, Dewey went into the boards and broke the exact same thing. I think wasn't it? Like he went in.
It was the same thing.
Caught a rut, and this was his foot. It went like the whole thing just caught a rut right by the Zamboni doors. The same gut wrenching scream. It was just those moments are just like, I think we both games when Larad went out and broke his leg, and then when Doucette went out and broke his leg, we won those games. We went into the room and we said we're doing it for Larad and we're doing it for Doucette, and the boys batted down, man, and we won that game. Unfortunately, the Leafs couldn't do it, but game 2 tonight, right?
That's right. No,
I remember. You go back.
No. I was just gonna say, like, I mean, man, like I see people online and they talk about, just to go back to the Tavares thing, talk about John Tavares, and they like to give their opinion on stuff. They like to give their thing on stuff. And listen, I've never played in the NHL. I've never been into that monumentous where like the whole world is watching, right? You got people from all over the world that are watching you. But as someone who has played in the same game and has been on the ice, and literally Noah's injury, I was on the bench for that game. Noah's injury happened about 10 feet away from me. I could hear every single scream, bone crack, I basically throwing up in my crease.
It's terrible.
And, you can't, until you're in that type of situation, whether you're, not to mention, this is our teammate, right? So like, I'm sure the Canadians felt sick to their stomach. Imagine what the Leafs feel, right? Imagine what, that's your friend, that's your teammate. So when you see someone down like that, and you can almost feel in your heart that you're just like, man, how do you just go and play how do you just keep playing, right? Like, that's so hard. So I hear people.
And that's what the Leafs had trouble with too. After that happened, they struggled to score because it was hurting them pretty bad. But I think tonight for game 2, I think they'll come out hard, play their hearts out for
Tavares. I think so.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what are you gonna say, bro?
I was just gonna say that one of the first times I think we played you guys in high school. I think it was what's his name? Is it Gab or Gabe or something?
Gab?
Yeah, Gab. I remember I hit him from behind, and this guy's like, Jesus, he's gotta be like 200 plus pounds. A big dude. I mean, he used to be, like, when I knew him. I met him like twice beforehand, and I hit him from behind. I felt really bad about that. That's the first thing that came to mind when I think. And then I think later that year he broke his, or no, the next year he broke his leg. That's
okay. That's okay. He all he would say to you right now is, you play for JL.
Literally. That's exactly what.
That's all he would say to you. That's all he would say. He's like, let's go to the corner again and see what happens.
No, he'd catch me too. I don't weigh too much.
He was a big boy, man. He was a brute, absolute brute. But yeah, no, man. Like just those those years with high school was the highest level of coaching I've ever done. Unbelievable years. Didn't end the way I wanted it to end, but history is history. But with coaching that team, and we didn't think that we were going to have the numbers the first year. And shout out to Ben Cunningham, Monsieur Ben. He, both of us looked at each other in the Halifax West parking lot our first year, and he said, I don't think we're going to have the numbers. So I was like, the boys will show up. They'll show up. It's okay. The boys want to play hockey. They want to play at the highest level possible. And they did. And we took some boys that played very low level and groomed them to, like, we got guys like, look at Billy, look at yourself, Chris. You play. I know I listened to your history and stuff like that. Jesse, man, I bet if you slapped on anything, you'd be right on that team too, bro. But at the same time, like, coming from Bedford and Halifax Hawks, and then Saman, and then I coached with the Dartmouth Whalers, kind of the suitcase of the league. But those years, I'll never ever want. Like, I never would ever want to have those back, as in like the bad times. I just want to say that the boys that I coached in those 2 years is just unbelievable to see where they are, because hockey is so much more than just in the rink. It's outside the rink too. Right.
Sure.
And I'm sure everybody's heard a coach say that, you act the way that you want to be perceived on the rink, and then you also want to act that way outside of the rink. Right.
Yeah.
So the kids that I have coached, and we got a minute and 40 seconds left. We're going to see if we can end this, because I'm having a blast, boys. This is awesome.
Yeah. I think so me and Ben were just talking, even though we only have a minute and a half left, I think what we're going to do, if Jess and Chris, you guys are good with it, is we can pause this recording, and I can make a new Zoom call, and we can record that one and see if that works, and kind of upload both videos, part 1 and a part 2 of this. I think it's worth it if you guys are down.
I think we have a lot more to talk about here, gentlemen. There's a lot more hockey to talk about.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys are cool with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, I'll pause this. So this will be the end of our part 1 video with so Jess here. I'm not going to give you the outro because it's just part 1.
Part 1.
But this will be the end of our part 1 with former head coach of mine, Ben Young. So enjoy part 1, boys. We're going to record part 2 in just a second. So,
the
keep
Ben
giving
Young
her diesel.
documentaries.
Yeah, documentary. So,
All right.
shut the fuck up, Chris. All right. So stay tuned for part 2. All right.